As Chuck arose this morning, he knew he wanted to put out a commentary today. As he went through the files on his computer, looking for the game that would stand out, be different, he thought of this game, of Drop Zone. He said aloud to himself, "This is a good game. I had fun playing this game." And it was interesting because the end score really reflects the effort I put forward in this game. Yeah, I think I'll use this one. So Chuck reviewed the game, sat at his computer with his microphone, and talked about what he saw on the screen. The things he wanted to mention, though, he remembered he needed to tell the people listening because they would wonder to themselves, why wasn't Chuck using the Stinger missile? Chuck responded to them, letting them know that his Stinger missile was getting close to the veteran challenges and he wanted to save those for a super level up game that he has planned in the near future. So he was running the SMAW, and the SMAW, as he related to the audience, is a horrible weapon because it doesn't even knock down choppers in one shot. With that out of the way, Chuck was satisfied because he knew there would be many comments as to why he would run such a horrible rocket launcher. One that is so weak, it doesn't bring down anything but UAVs. Satisfied with that, he continued. The thing with Drop Zone that you got to know when playing it is predicting the flips, as I've said before in previous Drop Zone gameplay. Using the smoke to cover yourself is also important, he reminded his listeners. He was glad that he was able to do a commentary today, because he hadn't done one in a while. Chuck had been focused on his Pop and Cap series, the series where he plays with his dad, and he thought that people really enjoyed those, and they liked the team play and the gameplay that they saw in there, and Chuck really enjoyed doing that. He wanted to let his audience know that he appreciates them watching that series, and I hope that they enjoyed it. So I really do appreciate when you guys watch the Pop and Cap series. I do it because I love playing with my dad, and I want to show that playing video games with your parents when they get older definitely is a good way to bond. We have some great conversations about Call of Duty and other things while playing. And Chuck chuckled to himself because he always enjoyed when his father got angry. It was rather humorous when he just couldn't help him anymore and just knew that his father had to learn slowly the pace of domination. And Chuck was also satisfied that the Pop and Cap series, Season 1 had concluded and was happy with the results, and was moving on to a game of Drop Zone with his father. And he had a lot to teach the old man he knew about Drop Zone and the intricacies of it, and knowing how to predict where the drop zone will flip to, as always, an important thing. Oh, Chuck noticed in this part of the video, and he makes comment on it. Here we see the AC-130, and the SMAW is useless. One shot. The thing I was frustrated about in this game was that the SMAW, you get one shot, it's so weak, you're going to watch me put a bunch of hits on a pave low. The thing takes like 4 hits, and it's still not down. And Chuck starts to complain to Infinity Ward about the SMAW. Says he wants to send a tweet to Robert Bowling saying they should up the power, give it more rockets, whatever. But then Chuck decides that he wouldn't do that, because he knows Infinity Ward sadly probably isn't going to fix any of it. But smiling at his efforts in this game anyway, Chuck was happy, satisfied, even though he was using an inferior rocket. He was satisfied with the results because he put in that effort and played the objective, and that's what Chuck knew was most important when you're playing a team game. It isn't about always having the best kill-death ratio, but winning the game. But more importantly, having fun while doing it. Chuck always loved putting 2 sentry guns up because that really is just a great wall of defense. But sadly, sentry guns go down quickly, Chuck knows, and he wanted to pass that warning on. So he did. If you're placing your sentry guns, you want to spread them apart so that one flashbang doesn't take out both of them, or one EMP grenade. He reminds his audience. One of the tactics that he learned from playing Call of Duty so much is how to think that way and how to kind of think tactically, and that's what Chuck likes to do when he plays. Outsmart his opponents because, of course, playing with his face, Chuck knows he's at a great disadvantage. He can't always outgun or outrun the other players, but he can always outthink the other players. And he tries. Sometimes he doesn't do so well, and Chuck laments and expresses that to his audience. Yeah, sometimes I don't do that great, but I think it's the effort that you try to, try to play your best and try to outsmart your opponents. And sometimes you will be successful. As he looked at the video, he realized that middle drop zone is really a challenge to capture and hold, but he was really proud of his team for doing such a good job of playing the objective. Really just an excelling job, and Chuck always appreciates when he has teammates that work for that and try and hold the drop zone and just don't like run around on the edges getting kills, and Chuck appreciates that. So Chuck let them know. And I want to thank my teammates for playing this game with me and doing such a good job. It's nice when you have people, you get thrown into a lobby with people who are really focused on grabbing that drop zone. Chuck noticed, though, that the score, that the other team did get the drop zone quite often, 2,600 points. Chuck likes to shut down other teams past that point. Don't let it even break 1,000, but that doesn't happen very often. But still, it was a well-played game, and Chuck knew it, and was satisfied. It was interesting, he wanted to, and he was longing to show the points in this game where he got some excessive amounts of kills, because that's fun to do. It's fun to have those moments where you just have a great string of kills, you clog the kill feed with your name. Sometimes Chuck sits there and wonders while he's playing, if other people could watch him playing, would they go easy on him? Would they give him free kills? Because he really hates that, and he wants to let his audience know that, so he does. And guys, if you're playing with me, whenever you meet me in a lobby, or if you're on my friends list or my clan and you jump into one of my games, I don't always mind people jumping into my games, but don't please give me free kills. We're in free-for-all. Or if you're on my team, don't run up to me and start jumping up and down. But just send me a message, and if my mic's off, I'll turn it on, and we'll talk in the lobbies or during the game. With that thought done, Chuck was kind of upset with himself. He thought maybe people would think he was a tryhard. Is he a tryhard, he thought? He wondered. I mean, when he plays the game, he likes to win. He likes to do his best. Tryhard? Yeah, maybe. But he has fun. And Chuck always knows that when he compliments the other team, he means it. When he says good game, even if it was a blowout, they put forth an effort. Sometimes they do better than others, but they still try. And the reason Chuck expresses this often to his teammates and to the other team is because he grew up playing chess. And as chess, you always shake the hand of your opponent when you're done, win or lose. It's just about putting forth that effort. Something on the screen caught Chuck's attention, though. It was this helicopter, this enemy hind. As he noticed and remembered back to this game, putting so many rockets into that thing, and yet it would not come out of the sky. Frustrated, he thought of the Smaw and how when you prestige, its challenge is reset, and wanted to send a tweet to Robert Bowling and just might do it after he was done this commentary. But now the game was over. Satisfied and smiling and happy with the results he knew he was going to see, satisfied and smiling. Game on, gamers. Peace in your crease.
Sign the petition and together we can shout. Only who's his face wants to play games like Crisis, but he can't, and it's lame.